activities on an ongoing basis. So that's what we talk about when we're talking about internal controls. 5 components to internal controls, right? And what we're going to focus on going forward is going to be the control activities. And so when the auditor considers the 5 components of internal controls, the COSO framework, which is the established framework, but the auditor is testing, when the auditor is testing controls, they're testing the control activities. So if we kind of look at the phases of the audit, the first, with respect to internal controls, the first phase, the auditor is obtaining an understanding in phase 1 of the internal control, the design, and the operation. So think about the planning phase. Right? What the auditor is doing during the planning phase is they're talking to the client, they're getting information about the internal control environment. Then in phase 2, the auditor has to assess control risk. So they'll do some walkthroughs. They'll make sure, they'll test to see, okay, is it operating the way that the client designed it or described it, right? So they're looking at that, and then, right, they assess the control risk. In phase 3, if they determine that they can rely on internal controls, right, they perform these tests. They're going to select a sample of transactions and audit the controls around those transactions. And then in phase 4, they determine, okay, given my understanding of the controls and my reliance on internal controls, this is the nature of an extent of substantive